Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Actors Area. I'm your host, Shaun Grant, and I am super excited to be here. It's been a little bit of time since we did a show for this, but I am happy to be back with it. I am happy to be able to share such awesome lessons with you and to just basically help you to further your career, but more importantly, to enjoy the journey and enjoy the process. And, my attempt to do that and completion will ultimately come down to just giving you unique type of insights to how you can prepare yourself to be the very best you can be as an actor, as a performer, as an entertainer. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the title of today, or the topic of today, is called the Audition Playlist. And I got this idea because, there's a great book out there. It's called Change Your Playlist, Change Your Life. But I took it up another notch further. And this is something that I'll teach to the clients that I work with. By the way, if you want to work with me, just go to ShaunGrantActing.com and send me an email. We can set up a free call, get you on the road to starting, to just basically put you on the journey to acting success. That's what my definite goal is. That's what my intent is always, no matter who it is I'm working with. But getting right back into it, I remember this book. It was called Change Your Playlist, Change Your Life. And I can remember being an athlete, a football player for over 20 years. One way I used to change my body language, I used to change my confidence level, I used to amp myself up, was to play certain songs. And the beauty of music is music goes right to your soul. It'll touch the part of you that really, really can wake something up. You've probably seen the Rocky films and seen Eye of the Tiger, and there's no easy way out, and it does something to you as you hear it, because you're not only hearing it with your eyes, you're hearing it with your heart, you're hearing it with your soul, if that makes sense. So here's what we want to do today. Because music has that type of effect on us as human beings, I want you to find a list of 20 songs that and you really want to take time. Be patient with this process, because you just don't want to pick anything. But even think back, go as far as depending on how old you are, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it is, from any time period, any song that puts you in the place of relating to your character in the best possible way. So let's say you got an audition. Sometimes auditions can come at the last minute. So what are we going to do? First thing we're going to do is get the breakdown, get the side, see who the character is, see what the character relates to. Once we have an idea of who that is, then we can kind of go to the audition playlist and create it. Basically, okay, what song puts me in touch with this person? And the great thing is there's so much music out there that you'll always find a list of songs that can put you in that element to help you to embody the character. Because ultimately, what it's going to come down to is you embodying the character that you're trying to portray and embodying it in the most organic sense. If you can do that, you can basically write your ticket, because you'll just perform better than anybody else, because it's not something you're just dialing in. You're basically experience it from a cellular level, and that's going to allow you to perform in an amazing way. Okay, so you're going to find out what songs have the most effect on you. And this, like I said, give yourself as much time as possible, because when you really get it right, when you really get it down packed, you'll know, because your body will respond. Your body will respond because emotionally it'll lock itself in, just the same way a key locks into a door, and then you'll be able to literally and figuratively turn it on and just go from there. So you want to just take as much time as needed to look through playlists and things that will help you to call into this character. And when you get to that point, where you finally have songs that relate to what you're trying to do, here's what I want you to do. I want you to really be specific and single out the music that you want to use. And then once you have the music, you're going to play this music, whether it's through headphones. I feel like headphones work best for me, or even on your stereo, on your laptop, whatever it is, you're going to play this music, right? You're going to play this music as you're studying your script, as you're studying your sides, as you're embodying, as you're finding your objective, as you're finding the backstory of this character, as you're creating this character and allowing it to come to life. Now, what happens is as you're doing this, as you're implementing this, the process becomes one as to whenever you hear that music that was playing as you're going over the sides, subconsciously, the moment you hear that music, that character will be created just like that, without a shadow of a doubt. And so, like I said, this is all vibrational. This is all mental. This is all having an idea of how to basically get you to have the best audition ever, the best audition possible. And understanding the idea of auditions, to in order to really get down to it, you've got to treat it like you're going to set. You've got to treat it like your life depends on it. And not in a sense of being desperate, but in a sense of, this could be my last audition. This could be the last audition that I do for the rest of this year, because let's face it, as actors, there's been times where we'll get called in so many times at a certain point, and then we'd go months sometimes without having an audition. So you really have to approach it as to all or nothing. All right? So once you got that playlist down and you're playing it as you're going over the sides, for the next day, the day of the audition, and this is kind of a little bit, I remember Tom Hanks talked about how when he did Forrest Gump, how he did certain things to just really get into that character before he was ready to attack it on screen. And so this is kind of just basically what, it's almost the same thing, except what we're going to do is we're going to take that music and you're going to have it, I would say what's worked best for me is maybe 2 to 3 hours before the audition. Now, I'm not aware of what's going on beforehand, but if you can clear your schedule out, if you can have time to meditate and to focus on really doing a great job and setting the intention, great. If you only have an hour, fantastic. Put that playlist on. Allow that music. You don't have to do anything but sit there and listen. Allow that music to embody everything that you've learned, right? As you've been studying the script, just allow it. And then, sometimes we get called in for cold readings. So what we can do the exact same thing. Even if we don't have the sides, we'll figure out, okay, what type of character am I reading for? Let me find music that relates to that character. And it won't even matter what comes out of your mouth, because as long as your physical stature and your mannerisms are depicting someone that the director or the casting director, the producer wants to see, you will be in a great position, right? You will be in a great position, and you will be able from there to put yourself and basically ahead of the crowd. Because ultimately, I've said this before on the other podcast episodes, we've got to find ways to help us to stand out, especially if you're in a market like New York, especially if you're in a market like Los Angeles, and now places like down in the South, like Atlanta or New Orleans or Louisiana, period. You've got to find a way to make yourself stand out, because I guarantee you, if you don't book it then, you keep doing this. You keep doing these things we talk about. Eventually, you will book And you will get to a place where you don't even have to audition. That's the goal, to where you're so good, you're so dedicated, you're so dialed in with these characters and with everything that comes with them that people know what they're going to get even before you step in the room. So it's all about building your reputation. It's all about you creating a presence, right? That's the perfect word. You creating a presence. When you have a presence, your presence reaches the place even before you do. People just know, they understand, they see, they believe what they're going to get from you. And it's just a beautiful thing because everybody sees you in such a great light. Now, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because I'm already handing you over the Oscar right now. But I just kind of want to give you an idea of the vision that I have when you learn to implement certain things that other people aren't doing. Because, like I said, it comes down to having the edge. You always want the edge. You want to definitely get your talent going and get the ability to really, make sure that you're sharp in your other skills. But find ways to separate yourself. Find ways to put yourself ahead of the game. Find ways to just think outside the box. Ultimately, I wanted to be an acting coach and help other actors because I wanted to be in a position to where I could help actors see things outside the box and not just think that they had to approach an audition the same way it's been done for like 20, 25, 30 years. I wanted them to be in a place to where they could have things that as soon as they got in the audition room, the person who's auditioning was going to be like, wow, I've never really seen it done like that. I can't put a finger on why I feel this way, but I really, really like this person. I really, really like what they did. I really, really like what they're doing. Let me see more of them. And it's just that simple, step by step, piece by piece, putting it in place and moving forward from there. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Once again, if you want to work with me and you feel like this is something that could be for you, that could help your career, feel free to contact me. Go to ShaunGrantActing.com, ShaunGrantActing.com, and you can send me an email, whatever it is, give me a shout. Look forward to hearing from you, and we'll go from there because, like I said, I'm full of wisdom as it comes down to this stuff, and I'm not just preaching. I'll let my body of work speak for itself, but all things aside, I appreciate you joining me today, guys. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Take care.